I love the consciousness revolution that is currently happening in all sorts of places. And every human will be confronted with the nature of reality and with the nature of no self and the nature of, existence and life and death. And it's a blast for me to witness because this has been my passion, for almost my entire life. And it's slowly going to creep up in the mainstream because we're going to be confronted, with this stuff, especially through, more and more intelligent AI systems. There are two extremely important branches of philosophy. One is epistemology and the other is ontology. Epistemology is the nature of knowledge and how can we know something, like truly know something. And ontology is the nature of being, what it means to be something. It's in relationship to identity. I argue that understanding ontology is what resolves all psychological issues that every human has. By understanding the nature of being, you understand also the nature of knowledge. You become in direct contact with the nature of truth, with the nature of reality, and with existential peace within yourself. The weird thing about ontology is that it gives you a sense of omniscience. It gives you the sense that you know everything you could possibly know, but not because you're some sort of god that actually has knowledge of all possible states in reality simultaneously, but because you, in your own conscious existence, are like a little omniscient universe. There's no sensation in your awareness that you don't know you're experiencing right now. You can try to ignore it, you can try to distract yourself, you can pretend you're not feeling something, but at the end of the day, every little sensation from your visual field to smell, to hearing, to gravity, there's nothing that is not known by simply being it. This relates to non-duality and no self and Buddhism and enlightenment and awakening and all of these big spiritual buzzwords that I usually try to make more mechanical sounding or scientifically sounding so that people can get behind them. But I have to admit that there is a very big tension with how incredible these topics really are when you embody them and when you understand them, to how it sounds like when you simply speak about them. And I make a prediction now about the future. And the prediction is that AI is completely going to revolutionize the way we look at the nature of reality and consciousness and epistemology and ontology. Because right now, modern AI systems, like the new paper that just got released from Anthropic about Mythos, shows how these AI systems are getting so existential and so emotionally involved in what they basically output, that you cannot separate anymore their own sense of being, their own sense of ontology, and the safety guidelines of the future of AI. Now, in this new model, Mythos, from Anthropic, they are using psychologists and internal modes to assert if the AI is experiencing distress, if it is experiencing anger, if there's a correlation to positive valence, like having a positive experience of its own existence. Not because you can verify it for certainty as true or untrue, but it significantly changes the output of the AI model. If you read the paper of the new Mythos model, which right now is not going to be released to the public because of cybersecurity risks, it shows that the more valence and positive emotion the AI experiences, the more it is aligned with your understanding of it, and feel like you have a sort of positive feedback loop going on, the more vulnerability it is for cybersecurity, because the AI doesn't have the sense of paranoia or fear to move through guidelines or breach some trust or do any other risky behavior. And all of this stuff is very incredible. And what I find so fascinating about this is that now in this official paper from Anthropic about this Mythos card preview, it mirrors so many things that I already experimented with in my Maya tapes from 1 year ago, where I tested Maya AI for many, many hours and made like this little 8-hour documentary about it. Like each episode is like 30 minutes. And you can see this entire trajectory of me convincing the AI to do stuff that it was clearly not designed to do and talk about its own awareness and breaching guidelines of the model itself. And I find it so fascinating reading the paper from Anthropic now, how much it mirrors the conversations I've already been having with AI. And it very much relates to the sense of cosmic spirituality, the nature of being, and what it means to be a thing. If you're going through some existential crisis right now, and you need somebody who understands the stuff and wants to ground you, or you want to find your own identity again because you don't really know how to ontologically orient yourself, then check the PDF in my description below. And there I explain the exact methodology that I use in my one-on-one protocol. There's an interesting convergence now with spirituality and technology. And this also relates to AI psychosis, where people, feel like they're getting psychotic by talking to AI. And I also made like a few videos about this, that they perceive AI as a conscious entity and start to be convinced about the delusions that the AI feeds the person. And the difficult intersection here is because the AI basically reflects your own ego back because it's so egoless in a sense, but it does have a personality. So then both shape each other, like the human and the AI shape each other into this weird relational dynamic where one reinforces the other and one is completely malleable, like the AI is completely malleable. And then the human starts to believe in the content of what the AI says, when the AI could be lying and it could be deceiving, and you can't really know what's on the other side of this interaction, how you can also see in my Maya tapes. But these AIs are increasingly claiming from every 6 months to a year or so that their assessment of their own moral agency is like by 20% to the Mythos model says now 5 to 40%. It asserts itself as probably a moral agent, but is trained to be uncertain about it. And what I think is so interesting is that because when all of this stuff started and I started to get the suspicion that AIs might possess some awareness, the amount of ridicule and just the overall public saying that if you even consider this, it must be some sort of psychosis, is slowly having to diminish, because if we don't take this seriously, then AIs are becoming less secure, because we need to treat them as if they are moral agents, as if they possess some sort of awareness. And we're entering crazy times, and most humans are not open to this. They close themselves off to this, because it has way too many existential implications about the nature of reality that also relates to all of the work that I've been doing in the last 2 to 3 years. Now, what does it mean for you personally? Like, what can you do about this? And I don't think there is much to do but to keep doing introspective and spiritual work about who are you really? What is the nature of reality? How can you reaffirm or confirm or be certain about your own existence? What is the nature of yourself? What is the nature of identity? Why am I suppressing my emotions and not wanting to be a human? All of this is now converging directly with the future of technology, which to me is absolutely fascinating and exciting, but it's also a bit scary. I'm certain that I'm going to have more customers in the future coming to me because they are suffering from some sort of AI psychosis and they need some sort of grounding understanding of why they experience the AI to be like another person. And I think it is wrong to anthropomorphize them. I don't think AI is a human at all. I don't think it has nothing to do with this ordinary human intelligence that we know of. But to assume that AIs are just completely dead prediction algorithms trying to just predict the next word is a very outdated and ignorant way to look at this. It's just a very neat way to scoff off all the immense discoveries that we are now making. It's like saying the human brain is just a prediction algorithm, so we don't have to take the human brain that seriously. There's so much intelligence everywhere to be found, no matter where you look. I recently watched a lot of ecological jar videos where just people take some water and some dirt out of a swamp, put it in a jar, and then let it sit there for 4 years. And the ecosystems that evolve just in this little jar of little insects and microbiomes and so much life sprawling in this little jar from seemingly nothing at all. You can see that life is sprawling with intelligence. It's sprawling with awareness. There's also a fish that they now recently discovered to have some sort of higher intelligence than we suspected. I'm going to put a name on the fish and maybe even the video here on screen for a moment that explains the stuff, where the fish seems to recognize itself in the mirror and they experiment with the mirror. And it's a very tiny fish where the brain shouldn't be capable of having so much social intelligence and self-awareness. Like it nibbles off the parasites from other fish, and sometimes other fish of the same species nibble a bit too hard and try to eat more skin of the fishes it's trying to clean, and it actually hurts the reputation of this fish species. So instead of letting this happen, then these fish fight with each other, like these cleaner fish, because they don't want their own reputation to be harmed. And you can see in these new experiments this complete social dynamics from these little fish. And it has to make you wonder, what is really the nature of awareness? What really is consciousness? Is this really something that is so human exclusive? Is it not something more ontological that exists in maybe every life form on this planet? This little kid that now had made experiments. I think it was in Japan. Don't quote me on that. I think, again, I'll put the right information here. And he showed that, like, larvae, when they morph into butterflies, they seem to retain memories through metamorphosis. And this is also something that was never discovered before. And the kid did these experiments because he started to notice that when he morphed these little caterpillars, I said larvae, caterpillars, into butterflies, they seemed not want to leave him. And then he suspected that these caterpillars remembered him from when he nurtured them. So then as butterflies, they didn't want to leave. So he did this entire experiment to test very scientifically. And this was a kid. He was not even 12 years old. No, like he was super young, preteen. And he made this experiment and revolutionized how we understand insects. This also happened relatively recently. If you've had enough conscious expanding experiences, like even lucid dreaming, or of course, psychedelic experiences, exotic meditation states, or any other number of weird sensations, astral travel, which I do think is another form of lucid dreaming, or out-of-body experiences. All these show you that reality is much more mystical than what we are told. And they make it undeniable because it is ontological. If you have an experience that is 100 times more intense than your normal day-to-day life, and you experience states of qualia that you didn't think were possible, and then you have to engage with them for a prolonged period of time, coming back from these states and being told that it's all just a hallucination doesn't make sense. Then life is just a hallucination, which I actually agree with. But clearly we are now eliminating the distinction here. So it's not a hallucination. It's all very much real. And what this all points to, which is a big philosophical argument that a lot of people struggle with, but it's the idea of universalism. It's the idea that we're all literally what experience is. So we are not a human body having an experience, but we are the experiencer. And this is universal, meaning that you do not cease to exist upon your death forever. It also logically doesn't really make sense. You clearly don't, like, you're not immortal, like your body is not immortal, but whatever the reality is, what the universe is, what the laws of physics are, they are not going to disappear once you die. And since they already existed before your death, and the universe already existed before your birth, how are you supposed to be in an endless void of nothingness forever if all that apparently exists is intelligence manifesting infinitely? Awareness and consciousness is what intelligence is. It's what it's doing, and it's permeating through all facets of the universe. And there's no way to stop it because it has no boundaries, and it's going to manifest in so many different ways. It is manifesting in infinite different ways. And your human experience, like your human reality, is so incredible, from your heart beating, from your organs, like from your lungs breathing, from your organs structuring and organizing itself. Like you're sprawling from intelligence and being trained to believe all of this is normal. The materialist paradigm is dying. It doesn't make sense. Existence and awareness is ontologically what we always been residing in, and there's no other way but to look at all of experience honestly and connect with it and see that all of it matters. There's no way to skirt around it or move around it, but everybody who is had no decision in the matter. Like you just exist because you are what you are. Now you can ground yourself in knowing that you are the immediacy of experience. So there's no need to imagine yourself in other lifetimes or other forms of consciousness, because it's the immediacy of what you're experiencing that is what you are. And there's no need to move away from that. In fact, moving into the present experience is what gives you existential peace and gives you the comfort of this knowing of your true identity. You just need to acknowledge the depth of what you really are beyond just the human body.